Hi there. My name is Heidi Kel Santos, and I'm here to talk about a question. It's not really an important question, but it's a question. It took me a while to really think about making this video or this reel or response, but I had a few people ask me what kind of gear I use for church photography or prophetic photography, and this is just pretty much a response to that. I know it's not a really fancy video, but I hope it will answer some questions. So let's get right to it. For photos, what I use is my A7III with a 55mm f1.8. On certain occasions, I do get some lenses on loan. My cousin has a 24 or 28 to 70 G Master lens f2.8. I'll typically ask for his lens, and that I'll use it back and forth. So it is a zoomy lens, so there's a lot of flexibility, but depending on the lighting, I do have to adjust that aperture, but it's not too bad. But my main go-to combo is pretty much the A7III with the 55 f1.8, and I do like very fast lenses, or like lenses that have like a really low aperture, like a 1.8, just because at the church where I'm at, it's a low light situation when it comes to doing photos. So the stage, the platform, or the altar would have its section lit up pretty bright, and you can take really good photos there because it's a very controlled environment. But when you try to take photos of people worshiping or moments of prayer, it becomes a bit of a challenge just because there's not as much light coming in or hitting them. So you really have to wing it sometimes, or if you're me, I'll usually go back to the lighting board and just kind of like raise it up a little bit to where the volunteers or myself taking the photos are able to take good photos. So it's a neat combo. It's not too bad. You do have to be discreet. I'm sure you guys see memes about it all the time where people are slowly just kind of like hunting down who's like photo worthy of taking some of those things. But because it is a 55 fixed focal length, you do have to be you have to be at a distance to get a good portrait photo, which isn't wrong. You just have to know what or how to like really plan that shot. But for photo, that's my combo. For videos, I've been going back and forth with Canon, Panasonic, and Blackmagic. Right now, I do more of videos with my Blackmagic. But when it's the day of service, I usually just use the Panasonic S9, and that usually helps me with videos in low light too. And I love Panasonic. I am thinking about transitioning over to Panasonic, the Lumix line to be more specific. I have a 85mm f1.8, so I have prime lenses if you'll kind of catch on or notice these things. But I have an 85mm with the S9 attached to it, and if you know about the 85mm in general with any mounts with other cameras, like you can get up close or get to a certain distance, and that's not really an issue. But with videos, depending on what's going on, then I'll take videos of that, and I'll very rarely use the native log on these cameras too, even for Sony too. If I'm outside and it's like really sunny outside, I'll go ahead and use V-Log, convert it to Rec 709, and then add a quick color grade. Nothing too extreme, but something to at least make some of the warmer colors pop up. I love warmer colors. I enjoy them, but that's just my preferences. But for the church, I use that in an either portrait or landscape mode, just because depending on what's going on, there's really I think there's an appropriate shot or appropriate way of shooting things. And fortunately with me, that I kind of go in between, so I don't have a set preference. I just go with what works at the time of service or the time of just worship, really. And then I also use a Tascam recorder. I think it's the TLDR, and that one records 32-bit float specifically, which gives me more control over the volume. And the reason I use that is because our pastor at the church where I'm at, we record the sermons for audio purposes. So we'll get the message through the audio, and then we'll convert it, or we'll do edits, and then we'll upload it to SoundCloud, and SoundCloud distributes that audio to Spotify, Apple Music, and some other platforms, if I'm not mistaken. But we usually get the sermon from that. And the argument could be made that you can get the sermon audio or any audio straight off the soundboard, and you are right. I am adding extra steps, but that's how I've been doing it for a while. So that's my preference. I do have plans in store for other things with audio, but for now that's just been the route. It's always been the go-to. So I know it's an extra step to do the same thing that I can pretty much get off the soundboard, but this is my process, and some of you guys are thinking, oh well, you're just adding more steps to something that can be simplified, and you are right, but leave me alone. Those are the three things I use, or those are the three things I use for my church. I am trying to be more video oriented, but I record everything at its highest quality, just because I can. No specific reason at all. I know, again, another argument can be made to just record 1080p, but I'm a huge goer at if the cameras can support this quality, why not just use those functions? Why not just go ahead and do that? I don't think it's bad. Some people are just like, well, just shoot 1080. Like, no one's gonna know the difference between 4K and 1080. Well, guess what? I know the difference. I do. But yeah, hopefully, God willing, I'm able to upgrade my things. I recently got the Canon R50V, and am using the RF adapter to a Sigma 18-235 f1.8, which is the same lens I'm using to record this now. So I'm excited to try that officially if I'm not scheduled on our media schedule as a photographer, or if I'm not scheduled as something else that I'm not able to, or that prevents me from taking videos or photos. But that's my goal. Hopefully I get to use it this Sunday. Hopefully I get to use it. That's the plan. But yeah, a lot of people are asking me what kind of gear I use, and hopefully this will give you an idea to those who are wondering. I have other cameras that I have in my bags too, the Blackmagic being one of them too. If you know about Blackmagic and their cinema cameras, then you know it's not a struggle, but there is some sort of preparation for that. And in a church environment, it's always a fast-paced environment. So it just takes a lot of time to prep all these things, and sometimes we're able to use it to get cool shots. Sometimes we can't. Other times it's easier and faster to pick up one of the Sony cameras or one of the other cameras rather than setting up a whole rig or setting up the Blackmagic camera rig, and having to wait to to get that assembled. I am recording off of a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K, and it's not the full frame version, right? The Super 35 crop. I don't remember how they word it, but it's not the full frame version. But it does wonders, and it's a very good quality camera too. If you're viewing this video, then I hope my color grading is well enough to kind of be that demonstration that it's a good camera. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's something you guys want to know, I'll be more than happy to share. Or Chicharron, my cat. You can probably share or do a little voiceover. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully yeah, you guys have some questions that I can maybe answer. If you like this video, double tap. If you don't, then well, you know what to do. And yeah, stay tuned in for whatever other videos I post. Okay, bye.